The PDP agent there at the State Collation Center in Kaduna raising objection to the proceedings as to how election results will be announced. We heard from the State Collation officer, who's also the returning officer, responding to the letter that he's reading as to the provision and guidelines of INEC concerning when a supplementary election can be called. It raised issues as to why votes were cancelled in some areas, BVAS failure, missing results, non-usage of the BVAS, overvoting, and quite a number of others. We'll return to Kaduna shortly as we follow that development very closely and also bring you the decision of INEC concerning the Kaduna governorship election. But let's quickly turn to Bauchi State. We told you earlier that the Independent National Electoral Commission has now declared the PDP candidate, incumbent Governor Bala Mohammed, winner of that election, and he was returned elected. Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, retired, is the APC candidate in that election. He joins us live on Decision 2023. Thank you for joining us on the program. We're hearing that you, as well as your party, have now expressed some reservation about the outcome of this election. What really are the issues for you?
Well, thank you so much, Nifemi, for having me. There are actually what we observed was the entire process was characterized by violence, intimidation of voters, thuggery, and destruction of electoral materials in several local governments, particularly several local governments. 7. And so actually that calls to question the value or the authenticity of what is presented as a result in Bauchi does not really reflect the results of the election in Bauchi State. Like I said, we in the APC vehemently reject in totality the results and INEC's declaration of the PDP governorship candidate as the winner of this election. And we have reasons for that. There are several areas where our agents were beaten up, and we also had a number of locations where the state government commissioners and local government chairmen took over the collation centers, and everybody that was there on behalf of APC was chased out, beaten and chased out, and the attacks were ceased, and they were kicked out of the collation center. Apart from that, our agents, after election and counting, they're moving the electoral documents to the Ward Collation Center. Our agents were not allowed to go in. Only the PO of the polling unit is allowed to go in. And usually, and what they have done is to ensure that the distance from where you are supposed to carry the document to where the local government, the Ward Collation Center is so far that in between so much is done by the PO. The entire document in some instances is totally changed. So some of the documents you see moving from the ward to the local government collation centers were not even signed by the APC agents. So from this you can see very clearly that what we had in Bauchi State was anything but election.
Air Marshal, the margin of vote between the declared winner of this election and your party is over 93,000. What options are you now going to explore?
Well, right now, like I said, we vehemently reject the results because the results, actually, what we have as result does not reflect the reality of what our people's desire is. With intimidation, we have people that are on admission. as a result of violence in Toro local government. They use daggers to, cut people. And right now, like I said, about 2 people, Alaji Awaluwada Gumau is on admission, and so many others. Even a director, a member of Department of State Security, was attacked. So totally what you have there as a result, we're not even talking of the 93,000. I believe that if we get the results properly, I don't think the difference between APC and PDP results, with APC leading, should be anything less than 200,000 to 300,000 votes. So what they have done is to ensure that people do not participate by harassing and intimidating them. And even in collection centers, all our agents were chased out, were beaten, and commissioners and local government chairmen of the state were now put in charge to write whatever they wanted. And that is why we are coming up with this result. At the initial stage in the morning, everything was going on well. Suddenly they realized that they were not winning anywhere. And the next thing was we saw them unleashing attacks on communities in Alkaliri, in Warji, in Ningi, in Toro local government area, in Kirfi, and in parts of Bauchi. And that scared so many people. In Toro, they opened fire. They used rifle to open fire, and people ran away, and they now went in there and did what they wanted, and then took the documents down to Bauchi. So, yeah, and even if you look at it, the entire, system of not allowing the agents of the party to accompany the PO in submitting the results, which was done throughout the state, generally, clearly shows that they were up to something. And we are not surprised that at the end of the day, what we are seeing is that this is a party that has been rejected by the people of Bauchi State, but suddenly they are not only leading, in fact, they are leading with up to 93,000. It's unbelievable.
Well, it's a huge claim that you have made, alleging that you probably have won this election with a margin of 200 to 300,000, because if you look at the figures from the presidential election, the PDP had won in such manner with over 100,000 votes. Some would say, just like Anek would say, that there are platforms to, vent this concern. The tribunal will be opened a couple of weeks after the election. But what are you saying to your supporters in order to be able to keep peace, aftermath this exercise?
Well, before the election, during and after the election, we have urged our supporters not to shed the blood of any individual and not to take the life of any individual. At that stage during the campaign, we challenged the governor to make a similar remark, which he couldn't. So even right now, after this, we have called on our supporters to be calm. We are law-abiding citizens, and we are going to take the appropriate steps after due consultation with the party, with the APC ESCO at the state level, and also our stakeholders, after which we will communicate to the public what we intend to do. But definitely, what we have as a result does not reflect the reality on ground.
Mr. Sadiq Abubakar, retired, thank you for your contribution. We'll definitely get the position of the PDP as well as regards the allegations that you have raised following this election. Thank you for talking to TVC News.